go to the gym, sleep, side hustle 100 hours per week, being hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt. That was almost my reality. My whole life was laid out for me. I was this close to walking down a path that would have had me unfulfilled and miserable. But 1 month before I was gonna start going up that corporate ladder, took a leap of faith and jumped off the porch. I left the 9-to-5 rat race with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans, and I went all in on my credit building business. And it was the best decision of my life. Fast forward 24 months later, I work for myself. I cop the Porsche coupe. I wake up in my own time, and I do what I want to do every day. And I'm making this video today for you to understand my full story, the full journey I've never fully shared before, on how I went from $0 to $10,000 per month in 24 months. So you can learn from me, my mistakes, take inspiration for your own journey, and finally achieve the life that you always wanted. I grew up as an only child, a divorced baby, escaping toxic environment. Imagine living in the hood on top of that. But you move to the suburbs where all of your 100 cousins in one house. Imagine that being your new life. As an estranged introvert, I was an outlier. I excelled in sports. I never wanted to be like Mike. I always felt it was cooler just being me. I never identified with the group. Always gravitated to individuals. I was always the type to have friends from all walks of life. My mom taught me early on the power of the true hustle, and the spiritual power of being abundant. At hard times when money was tight, she acted as if she was abundant, and overflows of money would just miraculously show up. By her actions, she inspired me to be wealthy. The mindset of abundance seeped in everything I did in life, my personal life, my business. This shaped my identity and how I responded to favorable and unfavorable circumstances in my life. Growing up and going to school, there was things that I was exposed to that I didn't agree with, like waking up on somebody else's time. And I just had a feeling that was uneasy about me. I always wanted to have that freedom to control what time I wanted to wake up when I went to work, or when I went to any activity. I just had that in me since a youngin'. Never liked the 9-to-5s because of that. I never liked, the school system and what it was designed to showcase and teach me, how to be an employee. It never stuck. I always wanted to learn, while it was good to work, how do I become the owner of this establishment and have employees and everybody that works for the system to help me produce. And then I can give money to these people and help these people out. In my school system, we were taught to be employees. And so it rubbed me the wrong way. Although I didn't understand it initially, the knowledge, I had a feeling that it was something wrong with that information. Waking up on other people's time, is this it? My question all the time is trading time for money, telling me when I have to come in. I didn't agree with it. Although working is valuable to me, I felt a way bigger calling for me to work for myself. There was a moment in my life that was the breaking point that really let me completely exit away from that old reality. I dropped out of college. After football, I noticed that there was a turning point that this may not be my dream. This may not be the one for me. And so when I got back home, I was trying to figure it out. I had to go back to square one, and I started to work at 7-Eleven. And I was making about $11 an hour as the supervisor's supervisor. And so I'm at the top, and $11, it's crazy minimum wage. Working every day. One day I was genuinely sick. I had asked my manager, can I take the day off? She said no. At that moment, I realized I had no control over giving myself a day off when I really needed it. The feeling of having someone else reject your day off is insane. The first moments of me jumping off the porch and getting into this entrepreneurial thing, I started out selling smoothies. Straight up out the trunk. I used to sell these walking, going door to door in my neighborhood, around the parks, around these recreational places. And I would sell these to strangers and pretty much do door-to-door sales. And so I got a lot of my sales ability in real life action and interacting with people on the street, giving them real hard-earned homemade smoothies from out of a bowl. And it did really well. People love my smoothies. And it got me a taste of what it's like to work for yourself and have returns of money from your labor. Putting in work and you getting something back from that. And I fell in love with the profits, even though it was, very light on the range of money that I would get. It was a very pivotal moment that allowed me to see that I could do this with other things too. I had a pallet business, down and dirty as it can get, stacking wood on top of each other and selling this from out of a pickup truck, going business to business. And the hands-on door-to-door salesmanship and the grit and being outside like that, it really helped me understand this is not for me. I don't want to just work and be the only one laboriously putting in all of this work and not producing, if any, barely any bucks. I want to have a system that produces the money for me, that allows other people, I can bring these workers in there and produce and work it for me. I just create the system, right? And now I'm detached away from this. And all of these things, hindsight, as I pick all of these up, this is now this new level I want to be at. So all these businesses help me understand, okay, how do I build this system? What can I build here, right? In my journey of hustling, I go down a rabbit hole of credit, stumble upon a credit approval here and there, and I'm going through credit sprees. And I fall in love with this whole new world that I never knew I could leverage to be rich, getting credit. And so I run across this older gentleman as I'm getting this approval here and there for a credit card and this auto loan. And he tells me he's a debt collector. And this weird side of this credit world, I just start going down there. Going down the rabbit hole, and he's exposing me to a private web level of the credit world, how you can report credit directly through your own company. And I'm amazed going through this rabbit hole. He's just telling me all of these things, real true stories, giving me proof of somebody paying them to delete items that they put on their credit report. And I'm in my mind, I can be rich if I report credit directly, positively though, and have people's credit get built up instead of negatively hurting their credit. If I could just learn how to get in that, I'd be rich. And so that was my journey. I ran across that guy, he taught me, and I flipped it and learned, somehow figured out my way into getting it positive and reporting it as that type of data furnisher. And the game changed as I reported over, 500K. We're talking my own credit report and other people's credit report combined throughout my career as a data processor, doing this data furnishing thing. And my life, ever since it changed, man. I've made so much money playing this hustle right here. And I would love other people to learn how to do this, because it's not only legal, the nature of it, you're in between the lines where it's still safe, you're still good, you're leveraging a loophole that's completely printing cash safely, confidently knowing that this is a part of the law. You're authorized to be able to do this and still be fine, still be good, run a whole long-term business still. And it's amazing that nobody knows about this niche in this credit world a lot. They know surface, but they don't know the sauce. And I can teach people, I love teaching people, and I have a whole community that's actively getting to that point where they're being a data furnisher too. Initially, when I got approved and emerged in that world, this mentor of mine, he reported negatives. And that's exactly what I did the first time. And I had a stranger that I reported collections to, and his voicemail that hit my business phone, I still remember it. He was telling me about his lawyer, and it's a negative voice message about him suing me pretty much. And this power, I realized the impact that it can create, the value instantly after I saw I'm impacting people's lives. I instantly thought, wow, I'm rich. I can flip this frame and make it positive. If I could figure out how to get my hands on being a data furnisher that reports positive instead of the negative credit reporting, I could be building people's credit profiles entirely. And I can teach other people how to do that. And so I figured out how to do it, because I'm going to figure something out once I'm that curious. And as a hustler that I am, I went to work and got it, made it happen. I became a data furnisher, approved, authorized for reporting positive credit to people's credit report, man. And, I lost in the beginning with a lot of mistakes. I lost, my traction, but I gained a lot of wisdom. And now I can be able to say, you can report positive credit because I've done it, So how did I learn this though? The thing that made me able to get in without a lot of money, starting out, I had the connection that knew all of the sauce. He had the understanding, and he had connections and resources that allowed me to shorten that learning curve flat very quickly, get in the right, connections, people that had trade lines, people that had zombie debt, people that had stuff. And so I had the relationships that got me all of the resourcefulness, all of the money, all of the blueprint for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need any money. The power of mentorship, networking. Okay, my initial breakthrough of really making money in this data furnishing, I was reporting positives. The first W I had making a whole lot of money in 1 month, I made $10,000 working with a debt buyer that had a client base, had marketing, everything, the whole business operation existing. Had the clients ready to buy once they connected the data furnishing of mine to their operation. And we was working a whole scaling operation from that. And I made 10,000 by selling my processing ability, my ability to report all of their inactive, what's just on paper, all of that information. That's zombie debt. And I was able to turn that into active primary trade lines, you know what I mean? And I made a lot of money from that. And I realized, wow, this can be every single month. This can be every month. And the light just clicked on from that W, man. I just started to level up and understanding and get the sauce and skin in the game. Like, this processing of data was making me money every month. And it was so simple. This simple write-up in your software that literally does all the hard work for you. You download this Metro 2 converting software and it computes all of the data that's just information into another form of information. And it was as simple as that. That was my job. It was a few hours in a given month, less than 10. And I could do it in 1 day, really, if I had to do that. And so it was amazing how much of an easy process it really was. After that initial 10K month, I truly understood there's power here in scaling this business. If I could just up the amount of accounts each month gradually, slowly, subtly, but gradually at the credit bureaus, my relationship with them can be intact still. The credit bureaus will still allow me to report credit. And then now I can continue to upscale my business and the amount of money that I can make. After a while, under the radar, with me gradually hitting 10K month after 10K month, this accolade of leveling up to this new level of standard. I was eating food every day outside. I was doing things that average person, working class 9-to-5 person, they'd have to budget for, and they wouldn't be able to just pull off freely like it's water, And not to brag, but I realized I wasn't bragging. This was just what I was living. And I was truly blessed at that epiphany, It's just amazing how much of my life changed from this. That epiphany brought me full circle to the power of abundance. Just because I believed, from my mother told me, the spirit was intact to where I was able to think to do this, to turn a negative collection and see how can I turn this into a positive. That was spirit. That was from my mom. And I just thank God that I got that. 10K month after 10K month, you think that it wouldn't end. But like every story, there's always a turning point. And I had one batch that I was reporting for the month that had slipped into it a fake identity. People call it a synthetic one, a CPN. And that one CPN, it flipped everything upside down. It triggered a massive red alert for the credit bureaus to go and initiate an audit on all of my accounts. And that one CPN, they found that through the stack pile, man. And that shut my whole business down. From that point on, that L that I took was a major mistake. That was full of wisdom, full of value, full of lessons. And forever, I changed the entire playing field of how you really learn data furnishing and how you make money with it. It was a great opportunity for me to be the authority that has the experience, that's war hardened and battle tested with pure proof and experience now. From that moment of, I can teach this, everything clicked and the whole frame changed 360 about how I viewed this. Maybe you're stuck in a 9-to-5 job title that you hate, dreading each morning, every day. Maybe you're a college student drowning in debt and you're wondering if it's all worth it. Or maybe you're just an entrepreneur and you're looking for that one big break. Whatever your situation is, know this: data furnishing could be your ticket to financial freedom. But here's the thing, you need to take action. No one's going to hand you this opportunity to you on a silver platter. That's why I've created Data Furnishing Business School. It's the community where I share everything I know about building a successful data furnishing business. Inside, you'll get step-by-step video tutorials, done-for-you templates, a community, access to like-minded entrepreneurs. And remember, if you don't make $10,000 per month, creating 100K primary trade lines in 250 days max, I will pay you in cash $3,000. The link to join is in the description. Don't wait. Every day that you wait, you're leaving money on the table. If this video inspires you, hit that like button, subscribe for more content on data furnishing and financial freedom. See you in that Data Furnishing Business School.